Hello, everyone. I am Jade Ullrich, a clinical dietitian here at KSB Hospital, and thank you for tuning in to this nutrition presentation on all about added sugars. So, what are added sugars? To answer that question, first you'll want to know what the difference is between natural and added sugars. So, natural sugars are sugars found in fruit or milk, whereas added sugars are sugars and syrups that are added to the foods and beverages during preparation or processing. So added sugars can have many different names, including brown sugar, cane juice, corn sweetener or corn syrup, fruit juice concentrates and fruit nectars, high fructose corn syrup, honey, invert sugar, malt sugar or malt syrup, maple syrup, molasses, raw sugar or just sugar, sugar molecules ending in ose, such as dextrose, fructose, glucose, lactose, maltose, and sucrose, and also syrup. Remember, for my previous nutrition presentation on label reading basics, I identified what to look for on a food label. So, when it comes to added sugars, you want to aim for added sugars to be less than 10% of total calories daily and avoided for children under 2 years old. So, for a 2,000 calorie diet, this would mean aiming for less than 50 grams of added sugars daily. And on the nutrition label, under total carbohydrates, you see total sugars and added sugars. Total sugars include both the natural and added sugars. And so you can see on this product label, it contains 10 grams of added sugars, or 20% of the daily value of added sugars. So why is it important to limit our consumption of added sugars? Well, eating too much added sugar can put you at higher risk for several diseases and conditions, such as cardiovascular disease, cognitive problems including dementia and Alzheimer's, colon cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and triglyceride levels, kidney disease, liver disease, obesity, pancreatic cancer, retina, which is part of your eye, muscle, and nerve damage. And other impacts on health include added sugars contribute calories to your diet, but no essential nutrients, as well as consuming too much added sugars can make it difficult to achieve a healthy eating pattern without taking in too many calories, which can lead to weight gain. So here are the top sources of added sugars. So starting with the largest source, which is sugar-sweetened beverages at 24%. Next are desserts and sweets at 19%. Then it's coffee and tea at 11%, candy and sugars at 9%, breakfast and cereal bars at 7%, sandwiches 7%, and higher fat milk and yogurt 4%, and lastly, other sources at 19%. So to go a little more in detail, the 24% from sugar-sweetened beverages not only include soda, but also many other drinks with added sugars, such as fruit juices that aren't 100% fruit juice, sports drinks such as Gatorade and Powerade, and energy drinks such as Monster, Kickstart, and Red Bull, just to name a few. So there are several tips for cutting back on added sugars. So you can add less sugar at the table, such as cutting back the amount of sugar you add to foods you eat regularly, like cereal, pancakes, coffee, and tea. And one suggestion is to try cutting the usual amount of sugar you add by half and wean down from there. You can also swap out your soda if you're a soda drinker. So remember, water is best, but if you want something sweet to drink, you can try diet soda or flavored sparkling water. So you can also try eating fresh, frozen, dried, or canned fruit. And remember, for canned fruit, choose canned or fruit canned in water or natural juice, and avoid fruit canned in syrup, especially heavy syrup. You can also add fruit. So instead of, for example, adding sugar to cereal or oatmeal, try adding fruit instead to sweeten it up. As well as also cutting back the serving size. So when baking cookies, brownies, or cakes, cut the sugar called in the recipe by 1/3 or 1/2, and you often won't notice the difference. You can also try substituting. So switching out the sugar with unsweetened applesauce in recipes, and you make sure to use equal amounts. And then also compare food labels and choose products with the lowest amounts of added sugar. And if you've tried these foods that are, the lowest amounts of added sugar and you just don't like the product that's lowest in added sugar, even choosing products that are a little bit lower in added sugar than the product you're used to still reduces the amount of sugar, added sugar that you are consuming. And also remember, if you are trying to cut back on added sugars, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Even making 1 or 2 changes is still a good start to a healthier you and can still help reduce your risk of chronic diseases and conditions that I mentioned earlier. So any change, whether large or small, is still a step in the right direction. Thank you for joining me for this presentation, and I hope you learned a little more about what added sugars are, how they impact your health, sources of added sugars, and tips for cutting back on added sugars. Thank you and have a good night.